August 9th, 1925, a day that etched itself into the annals of India's fight for freedom, the day of the audacious Kakori conspiracy. In the torrid heat of India, under the oppressive British Raj, a nation was simmering with the desire for liberty. The air was thick with whispers of revolution, with the voices of the brave echoing through the labyrinth of narrow lanes and bustling bazaars. It was a time when the tryst with destiny was yet to be made, and the wheels of change were slowly but surely beginning to turn. On this day, the Kakori train, chugging along on its usual route, was about to become an unwitting participant in a pivotal event in India's fight for independence. A group of revolutionaries had set their sights on this train, not for the passengers it carried, but for the government money it transported. The train, unbeknownst to its driver, was carrying the seeds of a revolution. This was not an act of mere thievery. It was a bold statement against the British Raj, a symbolic act of defiance that would resonate throughout the subcontinent. The main objective of this daring robbery was to fund the activities of the Hindustan Republican Association, an organization that was at the forefront of the freedom struggle. These revolutionaries were not mere criminals. They were freedom fighters, daring to challenge an empire that had held them in its iron grip for far too long. They were men of conviction, driven by the dream of a free India, an India where the sun would rise on a land unshackled and sovereign. The Kakori conspiracy was more than just a train robbery. It was a spark that ignited the flame of revolution, a beacon of defiance in the face of oppression, and a bold proclamation of the indomitable spirit of a nation yearning for freedom. This act of defiance, however bold, was just the beginning of a larger story. A daring act requires daring individuals, and the Kakori conspiracy had its fair share of brave hearts. Now let's delve into the lives of these audacious revolutionaries who, with their unwavering resolve and courage, orchestrated the Kakori conspiracy. Their names echo through the annals of Indian history, reminding us of their contribution to India's freedom struggle. First up is Ram Prasad Bismil, a poet of the heart and a revolutionary in spirit. Bismil was the mastermind behind the Kakori conspiracy. He was not just a man of letters, but a man of action who believed in the power of deeds over words. His poems stirred the hearts of many, but it was his audacious acts that left an indelible mark in history. Then we have Ashfaqullah Khan, a man whose name became synonymous with courage and sacrifice. Ashfaqullah's role in the Kakori conspiracy was pivotal. He not only participated in the heist, but also provided the much-needed support to his fellow revolutionaries. His unwavering commitment to the cause of freedom is a testament to his indomitable spirit. Next, we remember Rajendra Lahiri, another key player in the Kakori conspiracy. Lahiri's bravery and dedication were instrumental in executing the plan. He was deeply committed to the cause of freedom, and his actions during the conspiracy reflected his determination. There were others too, like Roshan Singh, Sachindra Bakshi, and Manmatnath Gupta, who played significant roles in the conspiracy. Each of them brought their unique strengths to the table, contributing to the success of the operation. Their collective courage, conviction, and commitment were the driving forces behind this daring act. These brave hearts were not just mere participants in the Kakori conspiracy. They were the soul of the revolution, the embodiment of courage, and the epitome of sacrifice. Their stories continue to inspire generations, reminding us of the price paid for the freedom we enjoy today. Their courage and dedication were the driving forces behind this daring act. The aftermath of the Kakori train robbery was a whirlwind of investigations, arrests, and trials. As the dust settled after the audacious act, the British authorities were quick to respond. Their initial shock gave way to a steely resolve to hunt down those responsible. With the revolutionaries leaving behind a trail of clues, it wasn't long before the authorities began to close in. A series of arrests followed swiftly. From the bustling streets of Lucknow to the quiet corners of Faizabad, no stone was left unturned. Among those apprehended were some of the brightest minds of the revolutionary movement: Ram Prasad Bismil, Ashfaqullah Khan, and Rajendra Lahiri, to name a few. In the heart of the empire, the trial began. The courtroom was a spectacle, the atmosphere tense with anticipation. The charges were severe, waging war against the king and robbery. The revolutionaries, however, stood tall, their faces etched with determination and defiance. And then came the verdict. As the gavel fell, the sentences were delivered: death by hanging for Bismil, Khan, Lahiri, and Roshan Singh. Others faced long years of rigorous imprisonment. The court's decision was met with a wave of shock and outrage. But it was clear that the empire was intent on making an example out of the revolutionaries. Yet, it was in the face of such harsh sentences that the true mettle of these revolutionaries was revealed. Even as their fate was sealed, they stood unflinching in their resolve. Letters written from their prison cells bore testimony to their unbroken spirits. Bismil's words echoed the sentiments of all. "Even if I have to face death 1,000 times for the sake of my motherland, I shall not be sorry." Despite the harsh sentences, the revolutionaries remained unbroken, their spirits undeterred. Their courage and sacrifice would continue to inspire generations, shining a light on the path of freedom and justice. The Kakori conspiracy, though a brief episode in India's freedom struggle, had a lasting impact. It was not just a daring act of defiance against the British Raj, but a pivotal moment that transformed the Indian independence movement. The harsh sentences meted out to the revolutionaries caused a public outcry. It was a stark reminder of the repressive nature of the British regime and the lengths they were willing to go to suppress the quest for freedom. As news of the sentences spread, it sparked a wave of anger and resentment across the nation. The people of India, who had previously been divided by caste, religion, and regional loyalties, found themselves united in their outrage. This unity was not just about shared anger, but also about a shared dream. A dream of an India free from the shackles of colonial rule. The Kakori conspiracy and its aftermath served as a catalyst. It galvanized the freedom movement, inspiring thousands to join the struggle. It was not just a robbery on a train anymore. It had become a symbol of resistance against the British Raj. The audacity of the act and the bravery of the revolutionaries bolstered the morale of the people, giving them the courage to stand up against their oppressors. The impact of the Kakori conspiracy was not confined to the Indian public alone. It also sent shockwaves through the British administration. The British authorities, who had long believed in their invincibility, were jolted. They realized that the Indian resistance was not limited to peaceful protests and civil disobedience. It had evolved into a more assertive, more resolute form of struggle. This realization forced them to rethink their strategy, marking a significant shift in the dynamics of the freedom movement. In essence, the Kakori conspiracy was more than just a historical event. It was a defining moment that changed the course of India's freedom struggle. It was a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Indian people, their resolve to fight for their rights, and their unwavering commitment to the cause of freedom. The Kakori conspiracy was a spark that ignited a fire of revolution across the nation. As we reflect on the Kakori conspiracy, we must remember the heroes who laid down their lives for the cause of freedom. These revolutionaries, these brave hearts, were not just individuals. They were symbols of resistance, of courage, and of the indomitable spirit of a nation yearning to be free. Their names echo in the annals of history, their deeds etched in the collective memory of a grateful nation. Ram Prasad Bismil, Ashfaqullah Khan, Rajendra Lahiri, Roshan Singh. These are not just names, but beacons of inspiration guiding us through the darkest of times. They dared to challenge an empire, and in doing so, they awakened a nation. Today, their legacy lives on. Monuments and memorials stand tall in their honor, testament to their sacrifice and the price they paid for freedom. The Kakori Shahid Smarak in Lucknow, the statue of Ram Prasad Bismil in Shahjahanpur, the Ashfaqullah Khan Smarak in Faizabad, These are not just stone and metal structures, but symbols of a nation's gratitude and remembrance. Every year, on the 9th of August, we pay tribute to these heroes on the anniversary of the Kakori conspiracy. We remember their courage, their determination, their unwavering belief in the cause of freedom. We remember their sacrifice, their commitment to a vision of a free and independent India. These heroes, these revolutionaries, they left us with more than just memories. They left us with a legacy of resistance, of courage, and of the indomitable spirit of a nation yearning to be free. And it is this legacy that inspires us, that drives us, that pushes us to strive for a better, freer, more just world. Their sacrifice was not in vain. It was a stepping stone towards the larger goal, India's freedom. And as we reflect on the Kakori conspiracy, we remember the heroes who dared to dream, who dared to fight, and who dared to sacrifice. And in their memory, we pledge to uphold the values they fought for, to preserve the freedom they died for, and to carry forward the legacy they left behind.